Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. Thank you, OGTC. Thank you to ICAHT. I also want to thank my company, Craft, and Lady Owen, from where I have passed out. I believe in the morning you had a little bit of a show, which I missed. I'm sorry, but I just heard from my colleague that was really, really nice. I'm proud to be part of the Lady Owen team. Okay, today I'm here to speak from a supplier's perspective. Can I be a brand for a brand? Before I do that, what does it really mean to be a brand? All of us who have been born and brought up in India know the brand LIC and the logo LIC. And what does it really mean? Is that a brand that has always delivered its promise? Is that a brand that has been consistent over the years? Even though there have been many new brands in the same strata that have come in, has LIC not been consistently increasing its market share? So what does it mean to be a brand? Simply put, as Devinder already mentioned, your brand is your promise to your customer. It tells them what they can expect from your product and services. It differentiates you from your competitors. Your brand is derived from who you are, who you want to be, and who people perceive you to be. So the perception part is also as important as who you are. For any company to sustain itself and to grow, it has to have a mission statement. It has to have a tagline or a mission statement that sort of connects the different departments, all the people who work there. And about 15 years back, Mr. Sudhir Dhingra, who is the chairman and managing director of Craft, he coined this tagline, the name behind the names, which is what we are discussing today, isn't it? And of course, there has to be a mission statement, which, like Craft, has a mission statement of customer delight, cost reduction, meeting the targets, keeping in view that there is effective teamwork. The tagline has to be ingrained in the ethos of the organization. Craft has consistently been on the path of self-discovery in the wake of growing competition. We strongly believe that our customer is not the retailer who buys from us, but the final customer who walks into the store of the retailer and buys the product is our customer. Because if we are true to that customer, deliver to the promise that we made a retailer, only then will that customer who walks into his or her store will be happy. I start with product innovation because any time that a company has to be successful, it has to have product innovation. About 5 to 10 years back, product innovation was not very important for the manufacturers. But today, product innovation is part and parcel of our complete structure. Because if you do not have product innovation, it is very difficult for the customer to first walk into your studio or walk into your showroom. It is almost like a mousetrap for you to first at least get the customer into the door. What does product innovation really mean? It starts from customer profiling, having their design calendar, understanding what the different dates for the customer are going to be. When are they going to have a fabric meeting, for example, or their line review meetings, how far ahead you should start watching the trends. Then adapting the trends that you see to the customer profile is very important, understanding their wish list, getting brand appropriate raw material, for example, a customer is, like Walmart can pay only $4, for example. But if you start to sell them silk, obviously that's not going to work. So it's important to marry the customer's profile with what you're going to deliver to them as product innovation, do a line presentation, and then the final analysis, which is the order conversion. So the design department or the product innovators need to be like a shadow cabinet to the design department of the retailers. They need to be talking to them every day, not relying on what they think, but knowing what they think is very important. Post 9/11, we in Orient-Craft felt that the customer was not walking into our door or was not visiting India as often. And we felt that it was very important for us to take product innovation to their door by either traveling or having our offices in different parts of the world. This has really helped us shorten the design development calendar and made chase business, which is the new normal today, very, very easy for the customer. We all know how supply chain has sort of changed from the days of nominated fabrics, nominated trims that the customer used to say, okay, go to ABC supplier, buy this from them. This is the yield at which you have to buy. The trims are nominated. Everything was nominated about 5 to 6 years back. All that has changed in the recent past, and we have had to sort of evolve ourselves and have strategic alliances with our supply chain partners to be ahead of the game. But before we come to that, one has to decide as to what product profile one has to be in. Is your product the high-cost, high-quality option that you want to give to your customer, or is it the low-cost, low-value option? Are you supplying to the Marc Jacobs of the world, or are you supplying to the JCPenney, Walmarts of the world? You need to decide who you are before you have strategic alliances with supply chain partners, because your supply chain partners will change accordingly. So choose product appropriate supply chain partners, create linkages with not only fabric suppliers, but trim and embroidery vendors, because they are the ones who are going to help you meet your quality needs and also your timelines. Also, some years back, we realized that the customer has brought a lot of teaching to us. They have taught us a lot, and they have sort of raised our own bar, but we have not taken that education back to our suppliers. So in the recent past, this has been a new drive for us to take the learnings back and integrate it to our supply chain partners, because they are very important for us to move ahead. And like Devinder already said, we need to become a one-stop shop for all sourcing needs for our customers, so that when they walk into our offices, we can show them not only new product, new fabric, new trims, like a one-stop shop, and they don't have to go anywhere, they don't have to visit mills, they don't have to go to trim suppliers. You make those linkages. You get them there, you have your partners behind you, backing you up, and that's the way we feel that we can move forward. Getting the fit right. This is another very important area. Until you have the fit right, you can't move ahead. Your TNA will start to slide. In Orient-Craft, we had till 3 years back, we were doing all our patterns by hand, manual cutting and manual making of patterns. Until, of course, Mr. Ramsareen walked in one day and he said, well, can you envisage this whole room of pattern makers if they were sitting behind computers and doing everything on a computer as opposed to by hand and by scissors. We said, well, that's not possible. We'll have to hire a whole lot of professionals to be able to do that. But you'll not believe it, with the same people who were cutting the patterns, and for 20 long years they had been doing pattern making the way they had learned from their forefathers or from having taught each other. The same people were trained on computers, on the software that ICAHT brought to the table, and it was like getting them from Chandni Chowk to China, literally. So I call it the Tuka magic, which helped us not only reduce our workforce, but it also helped us a lot in reducing the number of iterations to the customer. The fit cycle sort of reduced. Constantly to be in touch with our customer, understanding their fit, understanding the slope of patterns, having video conferences, talking to the customer face-to-face. The technical team needs to interact with the technical team of the customer is very important. And whenever we feel that the customer is not giving us the right direction, technically, we can give our own options. And we have, in many studies, we have found that whenever we give options, we sort of reduce our fit cycles a lot more. Of course, Odencraft now is also dabbling with the idea of 3D. We did a small case study with ICAHT, which I'll take you through the slides quickly. This was for Esprit that we did the 3D digital sample making. The model was created. Of course, we had to give detailed model specs by which a model was created digitally to match the real life fit model. A motion was added to it. We got a concept from the customer. Digitally, we showed it to them as to how it was going to fit, showed the tension map. But before one starts, you need to have digital patterns. And this can be then sent via email, just like Devinder just told us, to the customer. The customer can see whether they like it, don't like it, do they want to change the fabric a little bit because the fabric is not flowing well, or if they see any tension points that you saw in the previous slide. Here, wherever the red marks are, those show the tension map. Do they need to add a little more fabric, perhaps? Everything sort of constricts the timeline, which is what the customer wants today. Also, you can digitize your dummies and see how it is going to fit on a live model. So that was on fit and how to reduce your fit cycle, how to bring technology to aid you in doing that. But for you to be a brand, you need to have a cutting edge. All this, supply chain partners, fit, having a tagline, all that is good. But you need to have a cutting edge for you to be important to your customer. Like the new normal, the same thing. Change management is important. Every day we are learning. Every day we have to change. We have to evolve. We have to reinvent ourselves because the customer demands are changing. The market conditions are changing. There has been a recession for the last 2.5 years. The prices are spiraling downwards. What do manufacturers do? How do they sort of cut their costs? In short, how do they evolve from a pupa into a butterfly? That's the key here. And even though you can be a big company, the size of an elephant, the infrastructure of an elephant, but you need to have an agility of a cheetah. We have found that when we have our teams that are linked to our customer, where the next paycheck depends on whether the customer gives them enough orders and they are able to deliver to the customer, it makes small entrepreneurial units within the company, which gives them the agility, and also then they have a target to meet every day, to be able to see how they can achieve the same. I'll just go over the next few slides quickly. Trust is very important, and that can come only through transparency. You have a delayed shipment, for example. Just go ahead, tell them that we are delayed by so much time. The last thing the customer wants to hear is on the delivery date, sorry, cannot deliver on time. As you see it, when you see it, be transparent, price it right from the beginning. No one has the time to be able to negotiate, renegotiate, communicate effectively. Strict adherence to TNA, everyone knows that. This is very important, robust quality management, which will mean no chargebacks for you, which will mean that the customer is always happy, and they will keep coming back to your door. Invest in your people, love them or lose them. Very important. You can have an infrastructure, you can have machines, but if you don't have the people, you can't run your company. Beyond compliance, compliance is something that we used to do. Today, the customer asks us as to what is ahead of compliance. What is our corporate social responsibility? Orincraft, for example, has adopted a few villages where we not only employ the people, have a community center where people can come in, do a little bit of work, or they have doctors, etc., who can help them wherever they have a problem. And of course, green factories are the thing of the future, which will set you apart and make your brand. And for example, Marks & Spencer is all about Plan A. And if you have a green factory, then you are going to be their preferred vendor. So this is what would set you apart from the rest. Last but not the least, be consistent. Pepsi-Cola changed the way they branded their product at least 7 times. Coca-Cola always remained the same over the years. If you can't do this, you can never become a brand. Deliver on time, be consistent, price it right, give quality, and above all, be linked to your customer emotionally, like Devinder just said. Only then you can be a name behind names or a brand that can be recognized by everyone. Thank you very much.